Hello, everybody. Bill Thornton, SoCalSabre. Thank you for stopping by to see or listen to what music I spun this week from my vinyl collections and my CD collections. And as always, your comments will be greatly appreciated. So I want to get this week started off with one which I thought was an unusual, but I really liked the product on it, the packaging on this. And this is a 2020 reissue of the 1968 album by King Gizzard and the Wizard and the it's King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. I always mix it up. This is Nonagon Infinity. So I picked this up. I had picked up one of their other previous albums and I really liked it. So I says, "Oh, let me see if I get something else." So I did a search of their their albums ranked the highest, and for the most part, this one came out to be number one. So I ordered it on Amazon, and it did not come from Amazon. It came from a seller in this package, which is really nice. I just don't have a sleeve to put a size to put over it yet, but I will. So we're going to take a look at it. Not Again Infinity. This was the eighth studio album by the Australian psychedelic band. Pretty cool production. You saw the outside cover. Now here's the inside. Discogs has it listed as alternative rock, garage rock, psychedelic rock, and space rock. From what I read, the album's designed to play it as an infinite loop where each song segues into the next and the last song segues into the first, so that the record can be played front to back to front to back to front, and the sound won't break. Kind of strange. I never read something about that. Then we got a nice, very nice inner here. The title is reference to that idea about looping. This album charted on 13 different charts around the world. And it is cool. It is color album. Check this baby out. How nice. And it played great. You know, as far as all what Discog says, all those different types of music, man, I don't care what it was. I really liked this. I really liked this album. And, you know, because of liking the album so much and because of the overall product with the covers and all of that stuff, I'm going to go VG Plus to start the week off with Nonagon Infinity by King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard from it's a 2020 reissue of their 2016 album. Wow. I do have another LP. So now I have two LPs in the collection by them. So, wow. What'd you think of that album? That's pretty cool, wasn't it? Leave me some comments. And while you're down there, hit that like button. And if you're watching and you haven't subscribed so yet, please do so to help the channel grow. And everybody leave comments. I'll get back with you. I love to hear from you. The next thing we do, next one we do is I picked this up in Whatnot. And this is a 1979 LP, All This for a Song by the Guess Who. And I have two LPs in the collection by the Guess Who. But not knowing, this album was done after the breakup of the Guess Who. I guess Jim Cale formed a new Guess Who, and he asked for permission to use the name for a single concert, but his use of the name went far beyond that. Ended up in a lot of legal battles that went on for a long time, just a plain old center. And finally, in 2025, Burton Cummings and Randy Bachman were awarded the rights. So, I'll fight with this. So, when I was listening to it, this is before I read up and knew about this. When I was listening to it, it left me wondering, what happened to the Guess Who? They just don't sound as good as they used to sound. Well, then I found out why, didn't I? Discovered the facts. So, because of that, I really didn't care. Well, I'll show you. Better show you the album. From Hillside Records. I would be surprised if the label didn't question them about having the rights to the name before they produced it. But who knows why? Well, anyway, because of not liking and wondering what happened to the Guess Who because it didn't sound so well, finding out the information about Cale using the name beyond his rights, I can only go F for fair. Is all I can do this week for that one. So, what do you think about that? That he uses that? I know there's a lot of bands that break up and then the name is used by other people. That so I wonder how many of them have done it without getting permission. I don't know. This one wasn't with permission. All right. So next we're going to be looking at a 1980 album by ELP. And it's the best of Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Now, if some of you have been with me for a while, you say, didn't we hear this or view this in the last months or so? Well, you probably did. But this was on my watch list for a new cover because if you remember, the old cover was all chewed up. My dog, when I lived in Belgium, in Europe, had got a hold of it and it was eating. He didn't touch the vinyl, but he ate a lot of the cardboard. And so I had to get a new one. And this is a really nice cover. No insert for it. So this is the second one I have in the collection. This is an upgrade, and I have 6 LPs and 2 CDs in my collection by Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Yes, I do like Emerson, Lake and Palmer. This is on the Atlantic record label. Played very, very nicely. I don't know what I'm going to do with the other one. I'm not going to give it away because the cover is so shabby. But if I ever run across just another cover, maybe I'll just pick that up and I'll give the other copy to somebody, my son or something like that. So anyway, I really enjoyed the whole album. The stuff that was on here. Like Lucky Man. I really like Carnival 9, Trilogy, Fanfare for the Common Man. Lots of good stuff on here. Okay, that was the 1980 album, The Best of Emerson, Lake and Palmer, by Emerson, Lake and Palmer. So pretty well, I liked that one and played very well, so I go on VG on that. Very good for the week. Then what you saw on the thumbnail, because I'm going to start working at least one in a week, is one of my record store day pickups. And this was the 2025 Record Store Day LP of the original 1963 by Bob Dylan of The Freewheelin'. I have 2 LPs, 9 CDs, and a 3 CD box set by Bob Dylan in the collection. And the original, in 1963, was the second album released by Dylan. This one here, as advertised, this has the 4 songs, 4 tracks that were withdrawn before the album came out the first time. Rocks and Gravel, Let Me Die in My Footsteps, Rambling Gambling Willie, and Talking John Birch Prepared Blues, with the original never before seen liner notes. And those are all on the back. There is no insert. So it's kind of nice to have this one in the album with the original, the songs that were originally meant to be on here. And it was pretty good. I listened to it. I really enjoyed it. That I enjoyed all of the songs that weren't put out the first time. So it's now in my collection. I don't know what, I guess they call this a Columbia 2i. I guess it's because of those, could be looking like eyes on the side. I didn't have any problem finding it when I eventually did show up for Record Store Day. Like if you watch my Record Store Day video, I didn't go out till about 10 in the morning. This was available. So it is now in the collection. That is The Freewheeling, the 2025 Record Store Day reissue with the tracks that weren't on there for the first time of the 1963 album. So, pretty cool stuff. Well, this is the part of the week where we normally go into the CDs out of the collection. Well, I took a little break from that this week because I had bought a CD, new, and I wanted to show that to you first. It's the Beatles, Anthology 4. And you might ask, well, why did you buy it on CD? Because it was available on an LP also. Because I had the Anthology 1, 2, and 3 on CD, so I just wanted to make it a complete CD set. And that's why I did that. This contains a 2025 remix of the songs Real Love and Now and Then. That was released, I think, last year or 2023, I think. Okay. It comes on the Apple label. It's 2 CDs, 36 tracks. The second CD has a lot of more instrumental stuff on it. And it was pretty good. It was all right. I know a lot of people complain because they, didn't see version number 25 of this song or that song. Well, I don't know what they were anyway in the first place. That's all. I am going to complain about it. I am a completist now with the anthologies, using the the CD method. As you can see, it goes through here. It gives you a lot of the talking about each song all the way through. Got some nice pictures on it. It's a pretty hefty sized book. You can see by the thickness of it. Any of you pick up anything of the Beatles anthology? Let me know what you have. Be interested in hearing. I'll show you the back again. I'll hold it up there for a minute so you can see. Zoom in if you want and see tracks. And similar to the 3 original volumes, 1, 2, and 3, 4 features outtakes from the Beatles recording sessions between 1963 and 1969. You know, I normally listen to 2 CDs on one day during the week. I'm going to tell you, 36 tracks, 37 tracks, whatever that was a lot of Beatles in one setting in the afternoon. A long time. And it was okay, and it was good. It was good to hear this, good to have in the collection. So I'm going VG, the Anthology 4, the 2025 release by the Beatles. Okay. So now we're getting down to where I pull it out of the collection. And I pull it out of the collection. It's now number 96. And you're probably thinking, man, didn't we hear this one before too? Well, you did, and I'll tell you why. This is Dire Straits by Dire Straits. Their 1978 album. I have 2 LPs and 3 CDs in the collection. I actually have 2 of this one. Why would that be? Because this one played pretty good, played very nicely, but I had accidentally picked up one in a bundle from Whatnot, and that's the one that you listened to before. So I have 2 of these. So I'll decide whether I want to give one away or not. I don't know why I wouldn't, but you never know, do you? Comes with a nice pit photo on the inside. This was the debut album by the British rock band. The album features the hit single Sultan of Swings, which reached number 4 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart and number 8 on the UK singles chart. So it's a good way to start their career off. I'll show it to you. It's on Warner Brothers. The album charted in 12 different countries. Played very well. I really like the Dire Straits. I guess that's why I have 2 LPs and 3 CDs in the collection. So that was the final Dire Straits by Dire Straits from 1978. Well, that's it for the week, except for telling you which 2 that I enjoyed the most, or liked the most, or gave me the most fun. This was a tough week, and a lot of them could have been. Well, the first one I'm going to tell you right off the bat, is I'm picking Nonagon Infinity by King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. That production was really good, and the album was really good. Check it out on your streaming services. Nonagon Infinity. If you like psych rock, this might be the one for you. Then the other one I'm going to pick, because it's the newness of it, and I don't know what I'm trying to say here, is The Free Willin' by Bob Dylan, the 2025 Record Store Day release of his 1963 album, with 4 songs on this one that were originally scheduled to be on the first one in 1963, but somebody removed them. So that's the 2 that I'm picking this week. Which ones would you have picked? Do you have any of them? How about these artists? Do you have any of these artists? Let me know. SoCalsabre saying, thank you again for stopping by. Take care of yourselves out there. Be kind to each other and stay safe.